Hello everyone. So it didn't take long for Russia to break the 30-day ceasefire. Or rather, show what we thought to it, I guess. I'm not sure if we can class this as them breaking it, as we refuse it anyway. This video here shows the aftermath of a Russian drone strike in Sumy, targeting a truck belonging to an energy worker, an employee of Sumy Oblanegro, which is the local energy provider. Sadly, the driver lost his life in this drone attack. This happened on the very day that Ukraine and a coalition of Western nations tried to arrange a 30-day ceasefire, with the West announcing a reaction to Russia if it didn't agree with it or broke it. Russia didn't agree with it and then proceeded to do what we've been doing since the start of the war and targeting civilians. It shows pretty much what Putin thinks of the West, their threats of sanctions and their talks of a peace deal. Europe said there'd be a response if Putin didn't accept the ceasefire. He clearly didn't. So, let's see what response we'll get. I'm guessing not much. When really, the reaction should be an increase in military aid, a lifting of restrictions for ATACMS, and a confirmation, at last, that tourists will be sent, because the only thing Putin understands is military strength. The geolocation's on screen now, the van heading south as shown here. This was geolocated by Dominic on Twitter. Here it is, zoomed out. So this is the outskirts of Sumy, heading towards Sumy itself and about 25 kilometers from the border. So, you can't even give the benefit of the doubt here and say this van was driving to a frontline military area. It wasn't. 25 kilometers from a front line, driving away from the military areas. This was a deliberate attack on a civilian again. So, that's it for this video. I don't usually cover strikes on civilians like this, as they're always much harder to see and much harder to talk about than the usual stuff I cover. But I think this one definitely needed looking at, as it happened the very day that Zelensky and the West wanted a 30-day ceasefire to begin, and it shows pretty much what Putin thinks of those proposals. Now, there hasn't been a cruise missile or long-range Shahed strike since the proposal to have talks in Istanbul. I expect Putin will lay off those for now, as they might just be enough to provoke some sort of reaction from the West, but smaller attacks like this will be ignored or not noticed. Then, after his representative has made a bunch of idiotic suggestions during the meeting, which Zelensky of course won't accept, stuff like Ukraine gives up Zaporizhia, Kherson, Odessa, gets no military aid from Europe, doesn't join NATO, that sort of thing, Putin will carry on normal and we'll see a big increase again in ballistic missile cruise strikes, Shahed drone strikes hitting Ukraine, and he'll proceed to blame Zelensky for the peace talks failing. Again, the only thing he'll understand and the only thing that will get Putin to the negotiating table is defeat. So there definitely needs to be a massive increase in military aid sent to Ukraine to ensure that happens, because it's the only thing that'll work. So that's it for this video. Now, I'm going to play a video message from Cause for Ukraine about the ongoing fundraiser. Thanks very much and take care, everybody.
Ми, підрозділ Хімера БПЛА, звертаємося до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандера Мобіль, а також до партнерів Laserpeak, ATP Geopolitics, Erix, Sukomaimus та інших міжнародних бійців на інформаційному полі з проханням долучитись та посприяти нам у зборі на автомобілі. А саме 3 повнопривідні пікапи та 2 буси для пошуку позицій та заїзду і виїзду з них, які знаходяться у важкопроїзних місцях. Дякуємо за допомогу. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!